The Untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing games are missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, this is a special Thanksgiving presentation here on True School Sports. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there in the world. I was thinking about talking about Andre Benavidez today, but I figured, you know what? I'll save it for tomorrow night, the night before the fight. I figured today we do something a little bit different, something a little bit more fun, because everybody's being thankful, everybody's in this cheerful mood, everybody's in the holiday spirit. So I figured, you know what, BT, I got to get with the times, I got to get with the program. So I figured, you know what, let's somehow find a way to tie up Thanksgiving and being thankful and being cheerful into boxing. So I figured I made this list of 15 things I am thankful for. So we'll get into that here very shortly. But as you're tuning in, make sure you smash that like button. Definitely take the time to subscribe if you're new to the channel. And definitely super chat. All that's greatly appreciated. Before I get into the list, I'm going to address the comments in a second. But just wanted to give you guys a couple of programming reminders so you guys know what to look out for here on True School Sports. Now, Saturday night, as you guys know, was the big one. Demetrius Andrade is fighting Dave Benavidez in a very massive fight in the super middleweight division. I'll be live for that Saturday night. Tomorrow night, I will go live and I will break down not just that fight, but the entire card. So I'll make sure you guys stay tuned for that. A lot of videos out on the channel. Just interviewed Trayshawn Wiggins recently. A lot of other videos about other topics and shorts. So it's definitely, you guys definitely don't have any shortage of content for the holidays here on True School Sports. And yeah, it's gonna be a busy couple weeks here with Andre Benavidez. Don King show the following week here in South Florida. Robeisy Ramirez is fighting Rafael Espinoza down here in South Florida. And then the WBA convention, which I'm supposed to go to later on in December. So a lot of stuff. But nonetheless, let's take this time to acknowledge the fine folks here on True School Sports that are here. So shout out to my main man. First of all, shout out to the main man, Pops. Pops says, I'm thankful for having the best channel in boxing today. Yes, in the boxing business. Yes, it's very tough. You make it look easy, but it's very tough. Thank you, Pops. Happy Thanksgiving. Let's go, boo-boo. And that is from Shafia Ahmad. Shout out to Shafia Ahmad. Yes, happy Thanksgiving to your family from mine. And let's go, boo-boo. That's right. Let's go, champ. Should be a lot of fun that fight. David E says, I think there's going to be an Opetaia Breeders rematch in 2024. That sounds like it'd be great. Breeders is still one of the top guys in the division, and Opetaia doesn't look like he's going to get the Chris Billon-Smith fight because Chris Billon-Smith already has his 2024 set up where he's going to be fighting. I forgot right now. He pretty much has a 2024 lineup. I know he's fighting Richard Riakporhe and somebody else, but yeah. Shakur Marriott, my main man across the pond out there in the UK. I know they don't celebrate Thanksgiving where you're from, but happy Thanksgiving. Let's go, boo. That's right. Who do I got between Espinoza and Ramirez? It's a good fight. I don't have a prediction yet. I like the fight a lot. Espinoza is gonna be a handful to deal with for Robeisy. He's a 21-0, 18 knockouts. He has a whole lot of pressure that comes with him. 6'1", kind of like a Sebastian Fundora type frame. I think it's gonna be a fight where the conditioning of Robeisy gets severely tested, so it should be a lot of fun. You got that. But more on that as the fight gets closer. Michael Manning, pound for pound, one of my favorite subscribers and viewers of the channel. He says, big time fight, that Jair rematch, but there's huge fights at 200. I love to see Midnight Train run. Yes, that's the fight. Riakporhe versus Opetaia would be a great fight. He says, there's that man again. BT, thank you for the True School. Yes, man. Thank you, man. I'm tired. I'm a little tired right now, but I said, you know what, BT, F your fatigue. You got to give the people that world-class boxing content. You got to give that people, that Thanksgiving special content. So that's what we're going to do here. Happy Thanksgiving to David Easter. Happy Thanksgiving to longtime viewer Tycho TV. Good to see you, Tycho. And listen, on that note, look, we acknowledge everybody. We're 5 minutes in. I got a list, guys. I got a list, and it's as you can tell by the title of the live. The list is 15 things I'm thankful for in boxing. Now, you guys may agree with some of these things. This isn't necessarily a pound for pound list, so don't take it as that. Don't take it as, oh, I'm saying, this fighter is better than that fighter. It's not even fully about fighters. This could be things. This could be things in boxing, events in boxing, fighters. It could be promoters, managers. It could be anything. Certain networks. So we're gonna kind of go all over the place with this whole being thankful list. So let's get it started, man. Let's get it started. So the number 15 thing I'm thankful for, and I have clips of some of these things. So I'll be playing clips before I announce the spots of the list. So we'll start number 15. The number 15 thing your boy BT in the Untouchable True School Sports Empire is thankful for is as follows. Here we go. Drum roll, please. Number 15.
I know. There's a lot of talk now about like the super fight between you and the monster 122. A bigger guy moving up, kind of like a Salvador Sanchez, Wilfredo Gomez type thing. What do you think about that?
It's a good fight.
Yeah.
That's an interesting fight.
Yeah. What do you think about the monster?
He's a good fighter. Yeah, he's a good fighter.
Yeah. You see any holes?
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I'm just sitting here. He's a good fighter though.
Yeah.
But just like me, I'm a good fighter. Just like there's other fighters out there that I have holes in my game that they can exploit. So
yeah.
It's all about seeing when it's that time.
Yeah.
So there you have it. That was a clip from last summer when I was out there in Philadelphia and I interviewed Stephen Fulton way before the Naoya Inoue Stephen Fulton fight was even going to happen. And we started off this year. And then and this is the fight that I wanted to happen the most in boxing. Out of all the fights that have taken place, this is the fight that I wanted to happen the most. As many of you guys know who follow the channel, like Stephen Fulton versus Naoya Inoue or Naoya Inoue versus Stephen Fulton. It was probably one of the best buildups I ever had, and I had this sent. This is an exact program from the Ariake Arena from that fateful night in Japan back this past July when Naoya Inoue beat Fulton, and one of my Japanese subscribers sent me this, and that was just a special time here on True School Sports. The reason I put Stephen Fulton and Naoya Inoue and not just Naoya Inoue or not just Stephen Fulton is because at the end of the day, it takes two to tango, and like Inoue, he could have stayed at 118, maybe a little longer. Fulton could have went up to 126 and said, I can't make the weight. But, both guys didn't wait. They didn't marinate the fight. And, they gave the people what they wanted. And, a lot of times, too, especially with the American fighters, a lot of times they're not always as willing to go over to, another country when they're the champion. They always want the challengers to concede. And I get it, and always the money man around these weights, but still, he could have found the way out. He didn't. Al Heyman could have found a way to block the fight, but I give credit to him as well. He didn't. So yeah, we got one of the biggest fights of the year to happen because we had two willing fighters that were willing to fight. And again, Inoue destroyed Stephen Fulton. It wasn't a competitive fight, but I'm just happy we got to see it. I'm not one of these ungrateful boxing fans. I'm happy that we got to see the fight. And look, I want to take this time. We'll go to screen. I'm gonna go to screen share throughout the live. So just guys, bear with me. But Stephen Fulton, he's gonna be at featherweight real soon. Stephen Fulton's already ranked. I don't know if you guys can see on the screen, but I'm screen sharing. Stephen Fulton is already a ranked fighter in a couple of the featherweight rankings. Like if you go to featherweight, Stephen Fulton's already ranked number 7 in the WBA. Let me see. I could have swore he was ranked in the WBC, but I guess I'm wrong. He's ranked number 7 in the WBA, as you guys can see, and he's ranked number 3 already in the WBO. So listen, I know many people wouldn't give Stephen Fulton like the biggest chance in the world against Naoya Inoue, but listen, if he proves himself at featherweight and he somehow is able to manage to grab one of those straps, it's very possible we might just get Inoue versus Fulton too. The rematch at featherweight. It's really all dependent on Stephen Fulton and how fast he could, adjust himself to the weight and if he can get a title. Because if he can do that when Inoue moves up, that's a big money fight in Japan still, because Stephen Fulton actually did create a lot of fans in Japan. A lot of fans in Japan still give Stephen Fulton his just due for the fight. And I know Stephen Fulton has a big burden to want to prove what he can do in rematch with Naoya Inoue. So listen, right now, it doesn't make any sense, but it could down the road. Either way you cut it up, slice and dice it. I'm just glad that we got to see the fight because it was unique. It was a special time in boxing. It was a fun build-up, and that's what it is. And he's already positioned for it in a way. I mean, right now, he's looking at his highest ranking being the WBO. Maybe he winds up fighting Robeisy Ramirez versus Rafael Espinoza winner sooner rather than later, you know, if he can get some fights in real quickly. So yeah, the number 15 thing True School Sports is thankful for here is definitely Stephen Coolboy Fulton and Iowa Inoue squaring off in Japan, because there was a time where we thought we wouldn't get that fight. So, you know, thankful. I'm very thankful for that. And I was thankful to go to Japan earlier in the year and go to Ohashi Gym and all that good stuff. So yeah, that's my number 15 thing I'm most thankful for. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we're gonna go to the next thing I'm thankful for, and this one right here, it probably could be a lot higher, but I took my time with this list. It's not as high yet, but it's gonna be up there real soon. But you know, it made the list nonetheless. So my number 14 thing I'm most thankful for in boxing, ladies and gentlemen, drum roll please. My number 14 thing I'm most thankful for in boxing is the fine folks at Pro Box TV. Yes, that Pro Box TV. Shout out to Pro Box TV. The fine folks there. You know, Pro Box has been a breath of fresh air for boxing. I mean, when you talk about, a lot of time we talk about, you know, things that are bad for boxing. Pro Box has been great for boxing. I mean, we're getting cards every 2 weeks on a Wednesday, sometimes getting cards in Mexico during the same week. I mean, Pro Box TV has really put their best foot forward to give the boxing fans high quality, evenly matched cards, and I love what they stand for. I love their motto, which is good fighters and great fights. That they try to deliver the best, most evenly matched fights for the boxing fans. And you know, they operate totally different than every other promotional company. On Pro Box, they have fighters that are signed to them, but there are no A sides. Like, for example, they have guys signed to the company like Najee Lopez, like Daryl Valzaint, like you know, a couple other fighters I can't remember right now. But you know, they have prospects that are signed to them, but they still match them tough. And there's already been a couple prospects on Pro Box that have gotten exposed, right? So there's that. I liked the last chance tournament they did, where they took a bunch of fighters who were once highly touted, highly regarded prospects, and they put them in the tournament to see, who winner of the tournament could get a contract and go on to bigger and better things and win $50,000, and that was a lot of fun. We had some great fights in that tournament. We've seen fighters who were once world champions, like most notably my friend, good friend of the channel, Angelo Leo, 3 weeks ago, after being locked into a bad contract with Mayweather Promotions and not fighting for over 2 years. Angelo Leo had a chance to showcase his skills, and now his career is back on track, and now they're already going to bring him back for January. So there's just so many things that I believe Pro Box TV has done right. And, I know the majority of the staff there, like Daniel Rubin, who's a matchmaker, Chris Glover, who's one of the matchmakers, Chris Algieri. Obviously, I've been knowing Chris since he fought Earl Spence when I covered his fight way back when. A lot of good people, a lot of good boxing people, and I think they genuinely do mean well for the sport, and long may it continue. I'm definitely a Pro Box TV fan, and I'm going to continue supporting the fine folks at Pro Box. So yeah, that's my number 14 thing I'm most excited about in boxing. So there you have it. Let's see. Let me go to these comments right quick before I go to number 13. Before I go to number 13, I want to go to these comments. Who else we got here? We got my main man, Highway, says, I'm thankful for some Chocha Pops. He's getting real crazy in the comments. Let me see. A-Team. Shout out to Boxing Fair. He says the A-Team. Yeah, shout out to the A-Team. I'll give Inoue when he fights Tank at 135, bro. Manny Rodriguez is an Hall of Famer. We know Hyro's a Inoue hater, so I won't pay you too much mind when it comes to your Inoue comment, Hyro. But good to see you here. Number one will be Boo Boo. You have to wait and see. Who number one is under the microscope. I don't know. He might be number one. He may be in the top 10. He may not be on the list. You'll just have to see. So it is what it is. But nonetheless, number 13. The number 13 thing I am most thankful for in boxing. We'll drum roll it again. Number 13 thing I am most thankful for in boxing is none other than the always tough, always formidable, and very dangerous gatekeeper, Vladimir Hernandez. Yes, that Vladimir Hernandez. Now let's talk about Vladimir Hernandez. I was thinking about Vladimir Hernandez today because he's had a great year. I really do think like he's one of the best gatekeepers in boxing. This is him right here. You look at his record, Vladimir, 14-6 with only 6 knockouts. I mean, he's been around the block, so to speak, that Vladimir Hernandez. And I think he's had one of the most interesting 2023s of any fighter in boxing because, yeah, he's only had 2 fights, but back in August, he fought Lorenzo Truck Simpson. And I remember years ago when Lorenzo Truck Simpson was getting all this hype. They were saying he was the next this and he was the next that. And they brought him in to try to lose to Lorenzo Truck Simpson on one of those overtime boxing cards out there in Atlanta this past August. And he actually wound up outworking and out hustling Lorenzo Truck Simpson and taking his O, and then his last fight, he fought Troy Isley. I thought he beat Troy Isley, but the judges didn't quite see it that way. They all scored at 77-75 in favor of Troy Isley. And then, you just look at the resume, man. Julian Williams, he upset him a couple years ago when they were trying to use him as a Vladimir as a stepping stone. That didn't work out. Beto Angulo. I mean, to me, a lot of the guys in boxing, like the prospects and the Olympians and the champions, they get so much hype and they get so much validation. And I think we need more Vladimir Hernandez's. I think boxing and people like myself in boxing, like the channels like myself in boxing, we got to do a better job of highlighting these kind of fighters because without the Vladimir Hernandez's of the world, this sport would not operate. This sport wouldn't be a sport. And he's so much better, I feel, than the 14-6 record. I don't even think 14-6 is his real record. He maybe has 3 real losses. I mean, let me see. He got knocked out by Madrimov. He had a close fight in Mexico with Ricardo Adrian Luna. I mean, he's probably a 3-loss fighter. Honestly, his real record is probably 17-3. So I'm thankful for guys like this because every time I see this guy's name penciled in on a card, no matter who he's fighting, I already know that whoever the opponent is getting tested, and he's going to really, really deliver us some amazing moments, and we're going to learn more about the fighter he's fighting and him, the ultimate gatekeeper, the one and only Vladimir Hernandez. Big fan of the guy. So yeah, that's the number 13 thing I'm most excited or I'm most thankful for in boxing, I should say. So yeah, there you have it. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of things to be thankful for. Hope everybody's had a great Thanksgiving so far. Make sure you guys really appreciate your time with your loved ones because you never know. They could be here today, gone tomorrow. Like this year, I've had friends. I've had a couple close friends to me pass away. Rest in peace to my good friends, Nate, who got tragically gunned down here in Homestead a couple months ago. Rest in peace to my man, Charlie, who was a big supporter of this channel, one of my best mentors in life. These guys were, I spent significant time with Charlie this year, early in the year. In fact, most of you guys don't even know this. My man, Charlie, I used to make videos at his house. I used to, there was I can't explain it right now because I can't remember. I don't know how to explain it, but I used to make videos at his house and you guys probably wouldn't even know that it was his house. But, shout out to him. He was a big help for me. He really supported me when nobody cared about True School. So I miss the guy dearly. I spent some Thanksgivings over the last couple of years with him, and now he's not here. So there's that. And Nate, man, big supporter as well. So, just make sure you guys value this time with your family and your friends because you just never know when it could be your last Thanksgiving with them, from year to year. And, let me know in the comments as well, guys. What's your favorite part of Thanksgiving as far as food? What do you look most forward to eating? My favorite thing to eat on Thanksgiving is pumpkin pie. I love me some pumpkin pie. I could do without everything else just as long as I get my pumpkin pie. So that's what it is there. Now, we'll move on to the next thing because I'm telling you guys, the longer this list goes, the better it's going to be. All right, so the number 12 thing that I am most excited about, or not excited about, but the most thankful for in boxing, the 12th thing, number 12 of the things I'm most thankful for in boxing, is it's actually something that happened within the last couple of days. So we'll go with the drum roll. Number 12. Number 12, Rodolfo Orozco taking PEDs versus Conor Benn. Yes, shout out to Rodolfo Orozco. Now, I haven't even made a video about this yet. This is kind of new information, new news that just came out. But I'm thankful for this because, you know, a lot of fighters in boxing, they juice, they take PEDs, and sometimes when you're fighting a fighter with that kind of history, you don't want to cheat, you don't want to put things in your body, but sometimes you feel like you got to do it to be on an even playing field with a guy who has that kind of history. So let's talk about that here for a second. Let's touch on that one. Rodolfo Orozco. This is the Mexican fighter that recently fought Conor Benn, and it just came back within the last day or so that he has tested positive with the Florida Commission for a banned substance. They said he tested positive for adverse analytical findings. You know, and it's kind of hilarious, right? Because, you know, Conor Benn, we know he was juiced. We knew that there were some things that he was putting into his body that shouldn't have been there. And we knew that he was getting all these knockouts, and it was looking rather unnatural, especially the one with Chris Algieri. That Chris Algieri knockout was like the big one that raised my eyebrows, because Chris Algieri never got hurt like that before. And then all of a sudden, Conor Benn could have put a dent in Cedric Pinoy, but now he's doubling over Chris Algieri, who fought Provodnikov and fought Manny Pacquiao. Just, it didn't quite add up, right? It didn't make sense. So this happens a lot in boxing. A lot of fighters have tough choices to make, because sometimes when they're fighting a fighter who has PED suspicion or a PED history, sometimes they're just doing it out of fear that they might be on PEDs and they want to be on an even playing field. So am I angry at Rodolfo Orozco? Absolutely not, because when you see what Eddie Hearn has tried to allow Conor Benn to get away with, you got to almost applaud the guy for being that self-aware. You know, they were trying to get Conor Benn to, you know, allow him to be on, you know, the juice against weight-draining Chris Eubank Jr. So I applaud Orozco. As crazy as it sounds, I actually applaud him. You know, and Conor Benn, he's out here calling out Jaron Ennis, as you guys can see. You know, he says he wants to fight Jaron Ennis. I highly doubt that. I severely highly doubt that he wants to fight Jaron Ennis, because when I was in Las Vegas in 2021 and I asked Conor Benn about fighting Jaron Ennis, he was talking about building that fight up for the future. And I mean, I guess that was 2 years ago, so I guess technically now it is the future. But this guy won't even fight Michael McKinson. This guy won't even get in the ring with freaking Michael McKinson or Ekal Esselman or any of the top British welterweights. I think he probably won't get in the ring with Harry Scarf either, who just beat Ekal Esselman. But I'm supposed to believe that all of a sudden you're just going to jump up and go fight Jaron Ennis, unless, you know, no. He's not going to fight him. He's selling wolf tickets. And as far as Rodolfo Orozco, it all makes sense now why Conor Benn kept hitting him and he wouldn't go down. And it honestly, when they fought, it looked like an even fight. It looked like, you know, a fight where Conor Benn wasn't, you know, the superior fighter. It looked like a pro box fight where two guys were well matched. So, you know, shout out to Orozco for being on an even playing field and doing what he had to do to keep himself, you know, out of harm's way and not hurt. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is there. You gotta do what you gotta do, man. I kind of just wish boxing would take a stance on PEDs, like, you know, either A, allow everyone to use it, or B, allow no one to use it, but don't pick and choose. And boxing, unfortunately, they pick and choose when they want to do this, and it's just a sad state of affairs for the sport. So, yeah, that's my number 12 thing I'm most thinking for in boxing. Rodolfo Orozco taking PEDs versus Conor Benn. So, there's that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everyone here. Happy Thanksgiving. If you're just tuning in, it's your boy BT, the untouchable True School Sports Empire. You know what I'm saying? Boxing on the Edge. Shout out to him. Make sure you guys go subscribe to Boxing on the Edge. You know, he's you know, I always do see your comments, and he puts out good content. He says gratitude is the key to life. Salute, BT. Damn right. Gratitude is very important. So that's why every time, you know, there was a period of time, I think this year, you know, I went through some things personally this year after my two friends passed away, and you know, I think I just learned to be more grateful for things just in general. You know, so every time I get a chance to be in front of you and be live, you know, I'm not taking it for granted. I'm not taking for granted the responsibility God has given me to cover boxing at the highest level, and gonna keep doing better. So that's what it is. My man El Unico Cocho says tamales. Okay, shout out. Tamales ain't bad. That ain't bad. I'm a pumpkin pie guy. Taco TV says everything. He said he ain't out here being picky. So that ain't bad either. Duke Golden says, "Hope you and Pops are well, bro." We are. We absolutely are. This is a great Thanksgiving. You know, I'm probably gonna go eat after this live is done because I've been in my room working on True School content all day, and I gotta go enjoy my Thanksgiving at some point. But nonetheless, shout out to you guys for being here. Hope you guys are enjoying your much needed time with your families. Listen, this list is getting much better. We're really getting into the meat and potatoes of what I'm thankful for in boxing. It gets better the deeper we get into the list. So we'll switch gears and we'll move on to number 11. So I'll play a clip for you guys. My number 11 thing that I'm most excited about in boxing. We'll roll the drums again. Number 11. Number 11. So there you have it. That was a clip from the Kosai Tanaka channel that I posted on my shorts a while ago. Number 11, Japanese boxing. Something I'm very thankful for in the sport is Japanese boxing. Why? Why do you say? Why is Japanese boxing on this list? Well, obviously, I think they're in a great period of boxing. They have a lot of great fighters in the sport right now, like Naoya Inoue, Kenshiro, Kosai Tanaka, Jin Sasaki, just to name a few. And I got a deeper appreciation when I went out there in May for boxing in Japan, for the culture, for how they go about things. I like how organized things are in Japan. Like I like the fact that, you know, if you train at a certain gym, that gym is your promoter. So you already know when you're fighting, and I feel like because they're so organized, their fighters are able to fight more frequently. You have that, and then I've learned so much more about Japanese boxing, how it kind of works and how it's different than the USA. Like, for example, they have the Rookie of the Year tournament, which is basically a tournament that they have for all of Japanese boxing in specific weight classes every single year, where they have fighters from all the big cities, you know, from Osaka, Tokyo, Nagoya, Kyoto, you know, them big cities, and they match them prospects tough early, and you kind of see what you got early on with these prospects. And you know, the ones that perform well in these tournaments normally wind up having a pretty good career. So I'm thankful for what they bring to the sport. I'm thankful for the style. I'm thankful for you know, just their fighters. I'm thankful for a lot of things when it comes to Japanese boxing. So yeah, and you know, a lot of Japanese fighters, I feel like in the higher weight classes are going to have a chance to make some noise in the coming years. I know we got like Jin Sasaki, who's a ranked welterweight now. We got some guys at featherweight. I know Subaru Murata is a top-ranked fighter who's fought most of his fights here in the USA. You know, Japan's definitely making its presence felt in boxing. And listen, I'm already in the process of planning my trip to Japan for 2024. I've already gotten in contact with a couple of gyms out there. I've already made appointments for a couple of interviews. I'm targeting somewhere between April and June for next year, and I'm going back out there next year, and I can't wait because I think now that I understand how Japan works and how people are, how the culture is, I feel like this next trip is going to be just way smoother. So yeah, the number 11 thing I'm most thankful for in boxing is Japanese boxing. Yes, so there's that. Now, number 10. All right, we're in the top 10 now. The number 10 thing I'm most excited about in boxing now. I could put this one higher. I could put this one a lot higher, but the reality is, you know, this particular person isn't relevant enough in my life yet to put them higher on the list. But nonetheless, I do appreciate them. So, the number 10 thing I'm most appreciative and the most thankful for in the sport of boxing, I'll play a video, all right, for you guys. The number 10 thing I'm most excited about, or most thankful for in boxing in 2024 is the following. So, drum roll, please. Number 10. Number 10, man. Number 10. Omaira Figueroa. Listen, you can't go wrong with Omaira Figueroa, man. Listen, first of all, first and foremost, much respect and a big shout out goes to the best strength and conditioning coach in boxing, Omaira Figueroa. For those that know, for those that don't know, that is Brandon Figueroa's sister, and she actually is. I'm not even joking. She's actually a strength and conditioning coach. She's actually one of these women on Instagram who do fitness, quote unquote, but like she's in real shape. I've seen her work out on Instagram with like top athletes and outwork them. So I got a lot of respect for her and her discipline and whatnot. And obviously, I got glasses. I got 4 eyes. You know, she's an attractive woman. So listen, we've never crossed paths. I'm sure in 2024 at some point we will cross paths. And when the time comes and the day comes, your boy BT will be more ready to rise to the occasion. So yeah, I'm not gonna really harp too much on number 10, but we'll get it out there. The number 10 thing I'm most thankful for in boxing is Omaira Figueroa, the best strength and conditioning coach in the sport of boxing. So that's number 10. All right, so moving on. Number 9. The number 9 thing I'm most excited about, or not most thankful for. I keep saying excited. I keep saying appreciative. The number 9 thing I'm most thankful for in boxing. This guy right here, man, very talented fighter. Someone that I feel the boxing world should know more of. So yeah, number 9. The number 9 thing I'm most thankful for in boxing. Here it is.
Oh.
Jamal Harvey. Yes, that Jamal Harvey. For those that don't know, in fact, let's play that again. I don't know if y'all quite got that, so I gotta play that again. That wasn't Gervonta Davis. That was Jamal Harvey. I'm gonna roll the tape again for you guys so you guys can see that again.
Oh.
So listen, Jamal Harvey. The reason I'm talking about Jamal Harvey is because this is a fighter that just qualified for the Olympics. We know that the future of Olympic boxing is hanging in the balance. This next Olympics in 2024, it might be the last one ever. We may not ever get the Olympics again. And this kid qualified, and he's been nothing short of a can't miss prospect for USA. Now, what I'll say about Jamal Harvey is this. I had the opportunity, and before I go to this Wikipedia, this is Jamal Harvey right here. You know, really talented kid, someone from the Maryland DMV area that's been making a lot of noise on the amateur circuit, and he just qualified for the Olympics. And I think, he might be the most talented of the bunch. I had a chance to go to Colorado Springs last year with Sean Porter and Sean Tuttle. I was helping Sean Porter do some work for Amateur Boxing Champions, which is like this app that he was supposed to launch, and he never really launched it, and nothing really came of it. But, nonetheless, I got a chance to go down there to the USA Olympic Training Center, and we spent 2 days interviewing like all the top U.S. amateurs. And the crazy thing is those interviews never came out because whoever the videographer or whatever just never put them out. So it kind of sucks that you guys didn't get a chance to see those interviews, because it was literally me, Sean, Tuttle, and Sean Porter asking all these Olympians questions. But nonetheless, we interviewed Jamal Harvey last year, and me and Sean Tuttle watched film on him that whole week, and we were saying, you know what, we think this kid, not only is he going to be one of the favorites, if not the favorite for the USA to bring a gold medal back to the States and break this ridiculous drought we're on, but we also think that he's a fighter that will be a world champion in the pros. In the amateurs, he's definitely made his mark. At only 21 years old, he was able to win the gold medal at the AIBA, the 2021 AIBA World Championships, which is like probably on the world level, the AIBA Championships is the second biggest thing you can win a gold medal in, besides the Olympics. So he won a gold medal in that. Then in the Pan American Games, which is also, a big tournament for world amateur boxing, and it's also an Olympic qualifier, he won a gold medal in that. So gold medal, AIBA World Championships, gold medal, Pan American Games, and if he goes gold medal in the Olympics, I mean that's basically a triple crown. And he's gonna be someone to watch in boxing. Like I'm telling you guys, Jamal Harvey, explosive, can box, can punch, can switch, can slug. I mean he's winning a lot of fights in amateur boxing with professional tendencies and a professional style. Very, very hard to do. meaning that like he's sitting down on punches. He's fighting the way pros would fight in the amateurs in 3-round fights, and he's winning. So maybe they'll come out to bite him in his ass in the Olympics, but it hasn't so far. He's fought very, very well in 2 of the biggest world amateur tournaments in the whole entire circuit. So, shout out to Jamal Harvey. He's really made a big impression on me. I'm looking very forward to seeing his development as a fighter. So you got that. So that being said, number 8, and after I go to number 8, I'll go back to the comments. But number 8, the number 8 thing I'm most thankful for in boxing, drum roll. Number 8, the number 8 thing I'm most thankful for in boxing is this. Where are you? Here it is.
Tim, if it was up to you, who would you rather fight between Charlo and Castaño?
I couldn't care less.
Yeah?
Yeah, Charlo would be pretty cool here in America.
Yeah.
Just because it'll be a bigger fight. But I couldn't care less, When the boys, whoever wins has got all the belts, man. They call the shots. There's not much you can do about it.
Yeah, I saw your tweet where you called him a pussycat. I think that's what you said. Is that
Oh,
you?
yeah.
Yo,
Because he calls himself a lion.
yeah.
But when you downgrade from a lion, you know what it is.
So there you have it. That was a little clip from when I was interviewing Tim Tszyu, when I was part of the media scrum for Tim Tszyu when at his media workout for his U.S. debut against Terrell Goucher back in 2022. You listen, he wanted to smoke with Jermell Charlo back then, and the reason why Tim Tszyu is one of the fighters I'm most thankful for in boxing, even though he beat my guy Brian Mendoza, and I was a little mad about that, but the reason I'm thankful for Tim Tszyu is because when you look at him, right, this is a guy that when Charlo wasn't fighting him, he had every right to just sit on the shelf and do nothing. And we're going to screen share now. This is a guy that is one of the most active championship level fighters in the world today. And he's created a lot of value for himself this year. Just this year alone, he's fought 3 times. He fought Tony Harrison, he fought Carlos Ocampo, and then he fought Brian Mendoza. He's not only staying active, but he's staying active against, for the most part, pretty good competition. People may shit on the Tony Harrison win now because they may say Tony Harrison wasn't that good, but a lot of people thought Tony Harrison was going to beat Tim Tszyu. And the same thing goes for when he fought Goucher as well, and Brian Mendoza. And he just continues to show improvements. He continues to show his ability to box, to punch, to slug, to be defensively tight. And you got to really tip your hat to him. And I still think the Jermell Charlo fight is a box office fight worth seeing. And even if Jermell Charlo decides not to fight Tim Tszyu, with Virgil Ortiz's recent entry into the division, that could be a future super fight. Being that Virgil Ortiz is still a big ticket seller in the States, on the West Coast with the Mexican American crowd. I could see Tim Tszyu doing a big fight with Virgil Ortiz here in the States if Virgil can start winning and get some momentum back, because Virgil does sell tickets. And at the end of the day, if you can put asses in seats, you can legitimately have a pathway to making a big fight. So I'm just very impressed with this development, because I remember watching Tim Tszyu when he fought Takashi Inoue and Dennis Hogan and these kind of guys. And particularly after that Takashi Inoue fight, Takashi Inoue was a fighter that had been there with the likes of Munguia and whatnot, and Tim Tszyu has come and developed in such a amazing fashion since then. He's become such a much better fighter since the Takashi Inoue fight, and you got to really tip your hat to a guy who stays active, who doesn't make excuses, who gives people great fights, and has a really warrior mentality for the sport of boxing. So looking forward to an even bigger year for Tim Tszyu in 2024, and I'm definitely very thankful for the brother Tim Tszyu, because he's definitely been something great for the sport and a net positive for our sport. So there's that. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. Shout out to everyone here. Make sure you smash that like button. Your boy BT. These are the things I'm most thankful for in boxing. So yeah. Shout out to Hyro. He says, "What about Lorenzo Medina?" Listen, we're gonna get to that in a second. I love Lorenzo. I'm actually supposed to see. I'm supposed to see Lorenzo Saturday morning. I'm supposed to see him at Eric Lances Jr. Saturday morning. So we'll see how it goes. JT says, "I just like eating and chilling all day." Who doesn't love that? Hopefully you're enjoying your day, JT. Good to see you. Hyro says, bro, you love these Japanese fighters more than Japanese women. No comment on that one. He said, you had me worried. You were talking about all these men, but no women. Listen, man, it can never be that way. It can never be that way. You know, I had to pay homage to the very lovely Amaya Figueroa. In fact, I may just pay homage to her again. You know what? Just one more time for the one time. We'll pay homage to Amaya Figueroa again because I'm very thankful for her. Shout out to Amaya Figueroa. There you have it. There you have it. Anyway, I'm sorry. I don't want to stir up any lust nobody's heart. I'm just being honest. I'm thankful. Boxing therapy. Shout out to my main man, Lyndon Jones. He says, if only I knew Tony Harrison didn't have legs going into that fight with Tim. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your pops, BT. And he said, oh my, yeah, man. Be careful, man. I don't want you to get in trouble with your wife. But nah, yeah. There was a lot of speculation as to why Tony Harrison didn't have his legs going into that fight. Some people even say that Alicia Bumgarner was the reason he didn't have his legs for that fight, but that's just speculation. That's only allegations. I don't know why his legs weren't up to par in the fight, but people do say that. Alapau was good, champ. Good to see you. We got Larry Lopez in the building. Salute to you. Happy Thanksgiving. And David Easter. Zoo is going to fight Lubin and kill him unless Lubin is able to catch him. Eric Lubin should not be fighting Tim Tszyu. Eric Lubin is going to get absolutely lit up like a Christmas tree by Tim Tszyu. I think it's a bad idea, you know? So it is what it is. Most American boxing channels don't give Tszyu his props, and you've been a breath of fresh air, mate, telling it like it is. Much respect from the Aussie subscriber. Tim Tszyu is coming for all the smoke. Listen, man, I've been in the man's presence. I've seen the man in the flesh. It's a lot different when you meet fighters in real life, and you can really get a chance to get a feel for how they really are. And I'll tell you, when I met him right before he fought Terrell Goucher. And the impression I got was that he was a no-nonsense badass that's down to fight anybody. And so far, those initial thoughts from meeting him and seeing him have held true. He's fought anybody he fought, anybody who was the best available opponent that he could get in the ring. That's who he's fought, you know, and that's what it is. So I would love to see Tim Tszyu continue to get these big fights going into 2024. You know, shout out to you, Nathan, and shout out to the Aussies, man. I got a soft spot. I'll tell you this. I didn't put them on the list, but maybe I should have. I'm thankful for the Aussies, man. The Aussies have always been very kind to me. And I'm really looking forward to, hopefully in the future, maybe next year, I don't know, for the right fight. I would love to go to Australia. That's one of the top countries on my list that I want to go to that I haven't gone to yet. So who knows? Maybe the True School Sports 2024 trip to Australia, that could be on the cards for next year, you know. So yeah, we talked about Tim Tszyu, we talked about Jamal Harvey, we talked about Amaya Figueroa. Let me see, what was number 7? Oh, perfect. All right, so the number 7. Moving on to number 7. The number 7 thing that I'm most thankful for in the sport of boxing. All right, we'll go with the drum roll. Number 7. Bomac being free. Brian McIntyre being freed from being in the UK jail after the whole, after the Chris Eubank fight, because he somehow snuck a gun into the UK. I'm thankful for that because Bomac is a good guy. Now, we'll go to screen share so we can go back and we can revisit this and talk about this for a little bit because, you know, Bomac has been a guy that, you know, he's put in a lot of hard work. He's been with Terrence Crawford from the beginning, and he's been a very big focal point in Terrence Crawford's success and the success he achieved this year, you know, destroying Errol Spence. But yeah, this was them right here after the whole court case or whatever. You know, I was under the impression, and a lot of people were under the impression because we were reviewing the law that and the laws of the UK are very stringent and strict on guns. You know, it's a country that doesn't allow guns. You know, they don't do guns in the UK. So when I heard that an American, you know, in Bomac somehow got a gun through customs and got caught, you know, it really made me worry for him because, you know, I met Bomac one time. He's a good guy. He, I know he's a big part of the community in Omaha. He trains a lot of kids at the B&B Boxing Academy at their gym. And he occupies a space in a lot of fighters' lives, and not just pro fighters, but the young kids, the lifeblood of the sports, the kids. I always say it's about the kids. It's always about those young amateurs on the come up. And would have been it. I think if he would have stayed in that jail, in that UK jail for longer, for years, it would have altered the course of many a young man's lives in Nebraska. So I'm happy that he's out. I'm happy that he had a good legal team that knew what they were doing to get him out the jail and whatnot. And hopefully, Terrence Crawford could really just fight someone, like, be more transparent on what he wants to do with his career, because Terrence said Terrence don't want to fight Jermell Charlo, don't want to fight Jaron Ennis. He's gonna fight Spence because the money, but I know he doesn't really want to fight him either. So, we'll see how it goes. Terrence Crawford said that he has the right to pick and choose whatever he wants to do now. And he's kind of just telling everybody at this world, kiss my ass, because that's how he feels after winning the Errol Spence fight. So hopefully Terrence can announce a fight soon. I know we just talked about Tim Tszyu, but I'd like to see Terrence fight. I'd like to see Terrence Crawford fight to fight Tim Tszyu. That'd be a really good fight. And hopefully, I'm sure Bomac and Esau Dieguez, who's another great coach, and that whole team, who, no matter who Terrence Crawford fights, they'll come up with a great game plan, and they'll do what they can to remain victorious. So I'm just hoping we don't get Canelo versus Crawford, because one thing that I'm really against in boxing, that I'm always going to be against in boxing, and it doesn't matter which fighters are involved. I don't like when fighters hold up weight classes, and Canelo versus Crawford would definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, hold up multiple weight classes and, screw a lot of fighters. So hopefully it never happens. But happy Bomac got his freedom, and he could still be an asset to the sport of boxing at the professional and amateur level. So that's the number 7 thing I'm most thankful for in boxing here on True School Sports. Now, number 6. Now, I think some of you guys may like number 6. Some of you guys may hate number 6. But the number 6 thing I'm most excited about and most thankful for in the sport of boxing here on True School Sports, we'll go with the drum roll. Number 6.
But I've seen a lot of people try to rewrite history and rewrite the narratives of certain fights in boxing. Now, there were a lot of great fighters in boxing. There were a lot of great moments in boxing this year, as there are every year. There were some disappointments. There were some many highs, and there were some many lows. But make no mistakes about it. When we talk about 2022, and the history books is written, and the question is asked, what happened in the year 2022? The answer to that question is quite simply that 2022 was the year that Canelo was exposed by Bivol. You feel me? I'm wearing this shirt. For those that know, the shirt. Canelo exposed by Bivol. That was 2022 in a nutshell.
You thought you really thought that because we're almost in 2024, and you thought because it was Thanksgiving that we would forget? No, we never forget. We're still in the aftermath. We're still enjoying Canelo being exposed by Bivol, because honestly, we have to always bring up the fact that Canelo got destroyed by Dimitri Bivol, because if nobody like me told the truth, then the boxing media and the boxing establishment would try to do all they can to rewrite history and make you guys forget that Canelo Alvarez tried to fight Bivol because he thought it would be an easy fight, and got absolutely he got the shit kicked out of him all over the T-Mobile Arena by Dimitri Bivol. Now, with that being said, because I have something to say about Canelo Alvarez, and I was going to say it for tomorrow, but I said, you know what? I'm thankful that Canelo Alvarez got exposed by Bivol and got whooped, because I have a long memory when it comes to boxing. And do you guys recall this? Do you remember this? Back in November of 2021, when Canelo Alvarez got approval from the WBC to fight Makabu for the cruiserweight title, he was trying to cherry pick Makabu. That's what he wanted to do, to try to become the first Mexican cruiserweight champion, and the WBC wanted him to go that route, but then it just wound up not happening because he got so much backlash. He should have been fighting Benavidez. He should have been fighting Andre, but he was like, nah, I want to fight Makabu and make history, So when I say Canelo got exposed by Bivol, I'm not just talking about the night he lost to Bivol. I'm talking about all the bullshit he tried to pull before he got to Bivol. And this is one of those examples. We knew that Makabu was the weakest champion at cruiserweight, a very limited fighter, And the guy that, I mean, if you saw his recent fight, he fought Noah McCallion, who, you know, was a good little fighter, but nothing special. And Noah McCallion blasted Makabu out in 4 rounds. So the fact that Canelo tried to fight this guy when he had guys like Benavidez and Andrade and these kind of fighters, you know, in the fold, it kind of goes to show you why, you know, I used to be like a militant. I'm not like a militant Canelo hater anymore. I don't hate the guy no more, but he did get exposed by Bivol, and thank God, because no matter what he does, no matter how they try to rewrite history, I'm just gonna always refer to May 7, 2022. Now, switching gears, this kind of ties into what I'm talking about with Canelo getting exposed. He's getting exposed again because Andrade and Benavidez are fighting Saturday. The boxing world, I don't care if you're a Demetrius Andrade fan like me or if you're a Dave Benavidez fan like many fans out there in boxing. I think the general consensus is that Canelo should be looking to fight the winner of Andrade versus Benavidez. No ifs, no ands, or buts about it. Anything else, for lack of a better word, is bullshit. Okay, this was reported yesterday by ProBox, and y'all see it. Canelo's camp is quietly negotiating a fight with Jaime Munguia. Now, it's crazy that this is actually happening because I used to always joke around that, you know, Canelo is going to not fight any of these guys and he's going to try to fight Jaime Munguia. And, you know, fast forward, you know, we know Jaime Munguia has been rumored to fight John Ryder in January. That would make sense because if he fights John Ryder and he defeats John Ryder, that's a common opponent with Canelo. And then, boom, he could make, and he's coming off a good win against Derevyanchenko. He could make an argument for a Canelo fight. So let's read it. Let's read it. Here's what's reported on ProBox. So here's what it says, and I quote: "First of all, let's revisit the Canelo doesn't want to fight a Mexican. I guess that's out the window." Analyst Paulie Malignaggi stated, "When it's the right Mexican, I guess we'll fight him. I think this kind of confirms suspicions that everyone has had that he doesn't want to fight the Benavidez versus Andrade winner. I know it's very difficult for Canelo fanboys to get off of his nuts, but if he doesn't fight the winner of this fight, especially when you consider the excuses in the past of not fighting Mexican fighters and now choosing Munguia, it would be hard to excuse this one." So that's what it is. That's what it is, and I would concur. I would agree with Paulie Malignaggi. I mean, I remember when he said that. He said he feels he doesn't need to fight Mexican fighters because he carries Mexico on his back. He said he's been stating for many years he doesn't want to fight Andrade because he's boring. So listen, I don't, at this point, like whatever he does, he's gonna do. He's the money man in boxing. He can dictate what he wants to do just because he generates so much money. But at the end of the day, like I'm just rejoicing that, and I'm gonna be rejoicing till the end of time that Dimitri Bivol absolutely exposed this guy and beat the brakes off of him, and it wasn't a competitive fight, and it was the most lopsided, arguably the most lopsided loss of his entire career. And on top of that, I'm gonna be rejoicing that, you know, he tried the big time Bivol in negotiating the rematch and made all the excuses in the world to not fight Bivol on the rematch because he didn't want to get his belts at 168 taken. So it'll be Canelo exposed by Bivol 2022, Canelo exposed by Bivol 2023, and Canelo exposed by Bivol to infinity and beyond for life. That's what it's going to be. So Canelo exposed by Bivol is the number 6 thing I'm most thankful for in boxing. And odds are, if I do another list like this next year, that will always be on the list because like Canelo Alvarez he's on that bullshit again, you know. But nonetheless, shout out to my man Sean Marcus. Shout out to you, Sean. I appreciate all the positive comments. I do see them. He says happy Thanksgiving. And he says Makabu sucks. Listen, Makabu, I like Makabu. Makabu was an overachiever in his prime. Good power punching fighter, good strong left hand, but you know, again, very limited fighter, right for the picking. You know, if Andrade somehow beats Benavidez, will Canelo fight him? Is the question. No, I mean, I just played it. I just showed you right there. It looks like Canelo is not going to give any. He's not going to give any consideration to the fact of fighting the Andrade Benavidez winner. So it don't matter if you want to see Canelo fight Andrade or fight Benavidez. It looks like you're not going to get your wish. He's gonna do what I thought he would do, which is hide behind the Mexican flag and fight Jaime Munguia. You know, I love the Mexican people. I definitely love Mexican women, and you know, I love Mexican fighters. But Canelo Alvarez be on that bullshit sometimes. Omar Gonzalez, what's good, champ? He says, what up? And he says, saludos from Phoenix. Shout out to Phoenix. Got mad love. Never been to Phoenix. That's another place. Arizona, another place I haven't been to that I got to go to. So shout out to all the fine folks in Arizona. Hefe says, do you think Tony Harrison could be a world champion at 160? I hear PBC wants to make Lara versus Tony Harrison for the full belt. Listen, if he gets the opportunity against a guy like Lara, I wouldn't write him off. But, I mean, what's the point? Just go ahead and hang him up and go be a trainer. I mean, what more is Tony Harrison going to do at 160? You don't talk about how Bivol didn't fight for a whole year. He couldn't fight for a whole year because he was trying to negotiate the fight with your Canelo, and Canelo wants to fight your boy Munguia. So that's why he wasted a good part of the year trying to negotiate that fight. But he's fighting December 23rd. All right, so stop being angry, stop being a hater. He'll be fighting Lyndon Arthur, and you'll get to see Bivol back in the ring. He said those two old fucks don't want to fight. That's funny. We can't be haters if we say facts. Canelo lovers are always tripping. They are, and it's sad because, I mean, I don't want to group all of them, but a lot of them are deranged. Addery Pennant says, True School, is lifting weights a good idea for boxing, yes or no? It depends. I don't think it's bad in spurts. Like, if I do think, like, it's not bad to have some functional strength if you're a fighter. I mean, look at Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford can bench a whole lot, and he lifts weights, but you don't want to be too muscle bound, because if you're too muscle bound, then you'll gas quicker. I mean, I've seen there's people that have all these muscles that I've seen go into the boxing gym, and they can't even make it through one round because they're just the muscles are expending too much energy. And then you got people like me who look like, nerds, boxing nerds, so to speak, who are skinny that can fight for 10, 15 rounds. So, yeah, I think you gotta. It depends on the person's body type, but I don't think it should be like a central part of your training. That's just me, though. I think too much weights will get you tired, but you still do want to have some functional strength, because if you're someone, when you get into a clinch, you still want to have that physical strength to get somebody off of you. So that's kind of how I see it, but we'll see. This would be a huge stand on the Canelo legacy if he avoids the Benavidez versus Andre winner. Yeah, it would be another reason to I don't think there's anything Canelo could do to ever become the best Mexican fighter ever, because just because Salvador Sanchez is too good. He's way too good for him to achieve what Salvador did. That being said, this would just straighten my argument, honestly. I heard one thing I give credit to Munguia for is going through the meat grinder. First Derevyanchenko, now Canelo. I'm past my criticism from Munguia, but the guy cannot stand his cinnamon. They're the same. To me, they're kind of the same. Canelo was once a Zanford Promotions fighter. Munguia is still a Zanford Promotions fighter. I always knew that this was a fight that boxing wanted. Like, I knew from years ago. Like, I knew from like 2018, 2019 when Munguia got into the fold, and I saw how he was being moved. I said, they're trying to make this guy into the next Canelo. And what better way to make him the next Canelo than to have him fight Canelo, Canelo's up there in age. He's seen better days. Whatnot. Munguia seems to be in better form now. So it's possible that Munguia and Canelo winds up being a fight. Jaime Munguia is in his real weight class. You really want Munguia to KO with Diego Pacheco? Listen, you give Pacheco about one more year, Pacheco will beat the brakes off Jaime Munguia at like 23 years old. Beat the brakes off of him. I promise you. Let me see. BT, quickly on topic. What did you think of my ass pulling off the best comeback of the season against the Stars? I don't have any thoughts on it because I didn't see. But shout out to the Avalanche, man. I'm pissed off about hockey because last night my Panthers played the Bruins, and the Panthers were, I expected a win, and I expected a much better effort, and we probably played one of our worst games of the season. So we're 0-2 against the Bruins. We didn't have Barkov yesterday, so I mean, I'm not all the way mad. It's only November, and I know that hockey doesn't matter till the playoffs start. So, but I hate losing to that team. I really hate losing to that team with a passion. So, yeah, I kind of just checked out of hockey after the Panthers lost last night. But congrats to the Abs. Anyway, let me get back to my list because we're not even through the whole list yet, right? So, number 5, my number 5 thing I'm most thankful for in boxing. We're already an hour in, but there it is. My number 5 thing I'm most excited about boxing is The WBC Puebla Jalisco belt. Yes, let's talk about it. So, we know when Canelo fights, that Mauricio Sulaiman, as you can see it, there it is. Mauricio Sulaiman has a thing for creating these like commemorative Mexican belts. I mean, when Canelo fought Caleb Plant, he had the Matizio belt. I can't remember what fight it was, but a black fighter fought one time and he created the Black Lives Matter belt. I think he had the Union Jack belt for the Tyson Fury's fight for Dillian White. And when Canelo fought John Ryder, he created the Puebla Jalisco belt. And then he brought that same belt back for the Charlo fight. So I think it's kind of comical. It's kind of funny that when Canelo fights people who aren't even Mexican, not on Mexican soil, sometimes not even on Mexican soil, you got Sulaiman creating commemorative belts that commemorate Mexican culture, which, I'm not against Mexican culture. I love Mexican culture, but I'm saying it just makes it look like you're trying to fix somebody's fights for Canelo, even if you're not. But I think it's like, I'm not even mad. I used to get mad about it. I think it's funny. I think it's kind of cool. And I'm looking very forward to seeing when Canelo fights Ryder. Listen, Sulaiman, Mauricio, I'm hoping he don't let me down. Mauricio better not let me down. He better come up with something nice and real creative for the. If Canelo fights Munguia, okay, I'm gonna be pissed off about it because I think it's bullshit. But the only way that it could be made all the way up to me is if the WBC creates like a whole new commemorative belt. Like I'm gonna need Rey Mysterio in a luchador mask with some new WBC belt for Canelo Munguia. If I don't get that, if I don't get Rey Mysterio in a luchador mask presenting the WBC commemorative belt from Canelo versus Munguia, then I'm going to be very upset. But I'm very appreciative. I'm very thankful for Mauricio Sulaiman's passion, Mauricio Sulaiman's creativity for the whole entire the whole sport. So for the belts, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. No, the WBC Puebla Jalisco belt. Shout out to the commemorative WBC belt. So there you have it. That's my number 4. What's K? So that's my number 5. Now number 4, guys. Number 4. Y'all are gonna love number 4. Number 4 is something that everyone's been hearing about for a long time. So my number 4 thing that I am most thankful for in the sport of boxing. Drum roll, please. Number 4, ladies and gentlemen. My number 4 thing I am most appreciative in the sport of boxing is this.
Dubai, pick up a couple dollars. They upset. See, they upset because I'm able to milk the game. I was smart, kept all my faculties, made a lot of smart investments. So, when great people like Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, the Waltons, the people that own Walmart, Walgreens, when they're getting money in their 50s, their 60s, their 70s, 80s, and even 90s, it's okay. A young kid like myself from the inner city, from the ghetto, I worked my way to the top. I was able to leave boxing on my own terms and keep all my faculties, kept a lot of my money. So they're upset that I'm able to go out there and continue to make 40 and 50 and 60 million outside the ring. You can't get mad. Listen, this is what God wanted.
This is what God wanted, ladies and gentlemen. So my number 4 thing I'm most thankful for in the sport of boxing is Floyd Mayweather making smart investments. Listen, that clip was from just the other day, and I got to give Floyd credit. He always stays on script. He always he never disappoints. He always manages to make mention how he made smart investments. So listen, I'm very thankful for Floyd making smart investments because, as he so eloquently stated, he was able to leave with his faculties in check. He was able to leave with his health, and he was able to play the game and not let the game play him, like many fighters of yesteryear had done to them. So that's what it is there. So I'm gonna go to screen share right quick. I've always heard Floyd say he made smart investments, and I wanted to kind of look up myself. What are these smart investments that he talks about? So I found this article and I was reading through it a little bit, and let's go through it. So Floyd Mayweather's net worth is apparently, upwards of $450 million. And he has done a great job making, as he would say, smart investments. Now, his portfolio is as follows. He got into New York real estate. You know, he bought a bunch of skyscrapers. You know, as he said many times in interviews, you know, he started off with $5 million. You know, he was getting $50,000 every month for years. So then he started, you know, giving them 7 figures. He didn't even give them 8 figures. He started giving them, you know, money to invest in buildings and whatnot, skyscrapers, and apparently he owns in New York. He owns a 93-story skyscraper in the heart of Manhattan. And listen, if any of you guys have ever been to Manhattan, New York, you know 100% that it ain't cheap. Nothing in Manhattan is cheap to just to buy, like food or anything. So imagine owning some real estate. He owns a 93-story skyscraper in Manhattan. So you know, that was one of his number one most smart investments. And then his second smart investment was in 2019 when he invested in a racing team in NASCAR. Yes, they have the money team, NASCAR team, that were in the one of the drivers was actually in the Daytona 500. So when I was talking a lot of trash during Shakur Stevenson fight week because I said, you know what, you know, and I know my boy Shakur Marriott might be here, so he might get mad when I say this, but I know Shakur Stevenson fight weeks around Formula One weekend, but you know what? You know, to hell with Formula One. Formula One isn't as good as NASCAR. You know, it's an elitist, trash European sport, and boxing should never play second fiddle in the USA to an elitist, trash European sport. And this right here proves it. Floyd Mayweather didn't make smart investments in Formula One. Floyd Mayweather made smart investments in NASCAR. So let's get it straight. These Formula One drivers like Max Verstappen, yeah, they're cool. They can drive, but they're not beating Jeff Gordon. They're not driving like my main man Jeff Gordon, number 24 in the DuPont car. They're not beating him. Shout out to Jeff Gordon. If you know, you know. You know, Mayweather Promotions, LLC, started that in 2007. You know, started as Mayweather Promotions, LLC in 2007, has produced world champions like Gervonta Davis, Angelo Leo, Badu Jack, you know, so he's got that going for him. He's put on some big events with Mayweather Promotions, you know. Mayweather Boxing and Fitness, you know, he started his own chain of Mayweather and boxing and fitness chains all over the United States. They got gyms in Miami. There's actually a Mayweather Boxing and Fitness not too far from where I live. They have that. They have some in, you know, Vegas and other parts of the world. So that's panned out well for him. You know, obviously his very popular TMT merchandise, you know. So listen, these are just some of the many smart investments that Floyd has made. And listen, I'm glad that Floyd was able to get out the game with his faculties in check. That's what it is. I'm thankful for that. I'm very thankful for Floyd making smart investments. So there you have it. Smart investments from Floyd Mayweather. I'm very thankful for that. You know, I know you would get mad. But it's the truth. Floyd didn't invest money in Formula One. Floyd invested money in NASCAR because he knows what I know, which is that they're not beating Jeff Gordon. True School, what did you make of the Nikita Tszyu versus Dylan Biggs fight? Hell of a fight. You know, I did make a video about it. I thought it was an Australian boxing classic. Nikita Tszyu faced some adversity and really showed his heart and his grit. I just think, you know, moving forward, he's going to have to really tighten up his defense, because when you fight better fighters at the world level, he's going to really go ahead and have some problems if he doesn't tighten up his defense. But nonetheless, good fight. You know, hopefully Dylan Biggs can keep winning and down the road, and that could be a big rematch in Australia. You know, my man says, I'm back in the Kraken, Seattle Kraken. Okay, shout out to the Kraken. You know, we fought the Panthers over here, so you know the drill here when it comes to NHL. That Juneteenth belt was funny. Yeah, Black Lives Juneteenth belt. I remember that. Those are indigenous Mexican belts. Canelo is Spanish. That boy from Spain. He ain't Mexican. It's a gift and a curse of Floyd. It is. It is. I mean, at first, when I was younger, I used to not like Floyd, like when I was like a kid. But like as I got older, I started to really appreciate Floyd. You know. Be like Floyd, guys. Make smart investments, Play the game and don't let the game play you. You see what else we got. We see how is watching go around cars go. How is watching cars go around in circles interesting? I don't know which is more boring, NASCAR, golf. Yeah, personally, I'm not a NASCAR fan. I talk trash about NASCAR F1 because it's just fun to tease my friends across the pond about it. I don't live too far away from one of the. I live pretty close to one of the most famous NASCAR tracks in history, and I've driven by it a bunch of times. But yeah, I don't really care about NASCAR or F1. But the only sports apart from boxing, like when I'm not here covering boxing and watching boxing, the only sports that I really care about are baseball and hockey. Everything else, like whatever. I mean, I'm a casual basketball fan at this point. I'm a casual NFL fan at this point. But baseball and hockey, Florida Panthers, Miami Marlins, those are my two teams. So that's all it is. But I would say golf. Golf is definitely the most boring, hands down. Because at least with, I don't know. They're both boring. They're just different. They're different. I'm not sure which one I would like to go to more. I'd probably go to golf more than NASCAR, only because there's rich people at golf events, and there'd be some nice looking women at golf events. So probably golf. But nonetheless, number three, the number three thing I am most excited about, or I'm most thankful for, I should say, here on True School Sports, is as follows. Put the clip on. Where is it? Here's my number three thing I'm most thankful for here on True School Sports. Right there. You guys, the fine folks, the viewers of True School, like my guy Nate. R.I.P. Nate. Play this clip to honor Nate.
A dog.
You gotta have that dog in you. Because you know what time it is over here?
What time is it?
Bang time, man.
It's big time.
It's bang time.
That's Nate.
It's bang time. What you gotta say, Nate? What you gotta say?
Bang time, man.
Yeah.
Main event.
You're the main event?
Main event. I'm getting a stoppage. I'm saying that right now. I'm
There
getting
you
a stoppage,
go.
bro. I'm
He's-
confident, bro.
he's-
I'm getting a stoppage. I'm getting a
You
stoppage.
get the stoppage. And then you got
My other main man over
the
here,
other
bro.
main man. You got Eric, my main man right here. It's bang time.
Bro, it's bang time, bro.
Hey, Eric, like the heart of boxing and gyms like this, in places like Homestead, these are where the real killers reside. Killers like my boy Nate over there. How you feeling, Nate? You good?
Feeling good. Got back in the gym. Take a little break, but
Break.
yeah.
Man, you gotta be a professional, man. You gotta be training all times.
I am. I'm back to it now.
Okay.
I'm back on my schedule.
Yeah, man.
I gained some weight, but I'm gonna lose it again.
I feel you, cause every day you take off, somebody's gaining ground on you, So we here, man.
You have it, man. I want to start making that a tradition, man. That was my guy, man. R.I.P. to Nate, man. That was a little catchphrase. It's bang time. I'm gonna start playing that during the lives, just to keep his memory alive and show my appreciation to him, because he always showed his appreciation to me when I knew him. But my number three thing I'm most thankful for in boxing are you guys, the viewers of True School Sports. Without you guys, there would be no True School Sports. There would be no me. And you guys always make it really, really fun to come here and produce great content. And the friendships that I made through this channel have been amazing. And somebody asked me recently about starting a Discord server, which I'm probably going to have to do, because I want to really I want to take this community on YouTube and be able to keep in touch with everybody besides when I'm going live, So, definitely appreciate you guys. And then I definitely appreciate my friends in boxing, guys like my main man, Johnny Cortijo, Angelo Leo, Eric Menendez Jr., Lorenzo Medina, just to name a couple people that I know. Like these are the people that keep me grounded. Shakur Marriott, Jairo Galvez. These are the people that I talk to on a day-to-day basis that keep me grounded, that keep me going. And without them, I would have quit a long time ago. So I'm appreciative of them. I'm appreciative of you guys. And that's why after all these years, so many ups, so many downs, year after year, I still come here and I still put my best foot forward to be that ambassador for great boxing content and the sport. And I'm very appreciative of you guys. So thank you guys. I'm thankful for you guys. So that's my number three thing I'm thankful for. my friends in boxing and the viewers of True School Sports. Really, you could probably should be number one, but number one, I think will probably always remain unchanged. So stay tuned for number one. My number two thing that I'm most thankful for in boxing, and in boxing, is none other than this guy right here.
Hey! Ay, 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 ay. Canta, no llores. Ya tú sabes lo que está pasando. ¡Viva México! Don't cry, don't
I'm impressed. Giovanni Santiago. So there you have it. That's my number two, Pops. I mean, what can we say about Pops that hasn't been said already? Pops, he really is a big part of this channel. He makes things go here on True School Sports. This is a guy that made a lot of sacrifices for me in my life when I was a kid. And so now I feel like it's up to me to really pay that forward and be the best I can be for him. Loves boxing, always bringing that energy in the lives. And this channel would not be what it is without Pops. So in boxing, he's the number two thing I'm most thankful for. But in my overall life in general, bigger picture, he's the number one thing I'm most thankful for in life. So yeah, Pops is the number two thing I'm most thankful for. I know you guys are very thankful of Pops. I know a lot of people here love Pops and they appreciate his energy and what he brings to the lives as well. So that's just what it's gonna be, But Pops is definitely is definitely him. There'll be no BT without Pops. Pops continues to, always add value to the channel when I'm on camera. When I'm not on camera, and he's been my number one supporter. So gotta always show I love the Pops. But my number one, all right, number one. I know you guys been waiting 1 hour and 17 minutes, damn near, for you to get to this point. But number one, listen, if you know boxing, number one really shouldn't be any surprise to you of the number one thing I'm most thankful for. This guy, this particular thing. Everyone's thankful for this guy. So the number one thing I am most thankful for in boxing, drum roll, please. Number one.
A supreme shout out to Al Heyman.
Thank Al Heyman and BBC Boxing.
Thanks for Al Heyman.
Yeah, Al Heyman is a good person.
Big thank you to Al Heyman.
Al Heyman is a blessing to the sport of boxing.
Thank Al Heyman, man.
All I can say is this, man. Al Heyman's a great guy.
Al Heyman's a great guy.
Congratulations to Al Heyman and the whole Heyman team.
So there you have it. The number one thing I'm most thankful for in boxing is the number one thing that every PBC fighter is most thankful for in boxing. Al Heyman. Listen, when you guys go eat, I hope you guys while you were saying your prayers and thanking God and thanking your mother and doing all those things, I sincerely and truly hope that you thanked Al Heyman. It is what it is, man. Al Heyman. Now, let's talk about Al for a second, because a lot of times, whether people are pro Al Heyman and PBC or anti Al Heyman and PBC, I think they need to take some time to really understand and appreciate where the man Al Heyman is coming from. Now, this is a picture of Al Heyman. Look at that afro. That's a young Al Heyman right there. That's Al Heyman in college right there. All right. Al Heyman got into the boxing business. We know that he made a lot of waves in the music business, but you can really understand him a lot more when you understand his brother. His brother was this man right here, Bobby Heyman. And Bobby Heyman was a welterweight journeyman fighter from Cleveland, Ohio. He didn't have a successful career by wins and losses. He was 21-8-1. Most notably got knocked out by Sugar Ray Leonard in his last fight, and that was it for him. But Al Heyman was very resentful for how Bobby Heyman was treated. He didn't like how he was treated. And, his MO, especially according to his fighters, has always been to treat them well, pay them well, and always get them the most reward for the least risk, which sometimes as a boxing fan can be very frustrating because all we want to see is the great fights. And Al Heyman is very militant about getting his fighters the at least the ones he cares about the most, like the top guys, like, you know, your Wilders, your Andre Bertos, your Danny Garcias, you know, them guys, Earl Spence's. He wants to get those guys the most reward for the least amount of risk. And the reason why he is like that is because of what happened to Bobby Heyman and how, you know, Bobby Heyman was a fledgling welterweight who got knocked out by Sugar Ray Leonard and really left the sport with not a whole lot to show for his efforts and his contribution. So I don't hate PBC. I don't hate Al Heyman. I'm not pro or anti Al Heyman. I just want to see the best fights. But I can appreciate some things about Al Heyman. You know, I appreciate the fact that Al Heyman hasn't spread his cheeks open and went to Saudi. I like that about Al Heyman. I can appreciate that Al Heyman, you know, hasn't been, you know, shoving women's boxing down our throats. You know, I ain't mad at that. There's a lot of things to appreciate about Al Heyman. I can appreciate how Al Heyman, you know, he's went ahead and made some of the big fights this year, even though we know why, but still, he went ahead and did it. So, you know, you can't be a complainer. You can't be a hater. You got to be a congratulator. So congratulations to Al Heyman on all his success in boxing. And I guess I'm going to be thankful for Al Heyman like all these other fighters are thankful for Al Heyman all the time. So there's my list. So we'll run through it one more time. If you guys are just getting here, if you're just tuning in, my list is as follows. The things I'm most thankful for in boxing. 15, Stephen Fulton and Naoya Inoue. 14, Pro Box. 13, Vladimir Hernandez. 12, Rodolfo Orozco taking pads against Conor Benn. Number 11, Japanese boxing. Number 10, the lovely and very fit Omaya Figueroa. Number 9, Jamal Harvey, Olympic hopeful and standout amateur. Number 8, Tim Tszyu. Number 7, Bomac being free. Number 6, Canelo exposed by Bivol. Number 5, the WBC Puebla Jalisco belt. Number 4, Floyd Mayweather making smart investments. Number 3, you guys, the fine viewers of True School Sports and my friends in boxing. Number 2, Pops. Number 1, Al Heyman. You know what? Let's thank Al Heyman just one more time. I don't think you guys quite got it. Let's thank him one more time on Thanksgiving.
A supreme shout out to Al Heyman.
Thank Al Heyman and BBC Boxing.
Thanks for Al Heyman.
Yeah, Al Heyman is a good person.
Big thank you to Al Heyman.
Al Heyman is a blessing to the sport of boxing.
Thank Al Heyman, man.
All I can say is this, man. Al Heyman's a great guy.
Al Heyman's a great guy. Congratulations to Al Heyman and the whole Heyman team.
There you have it. Jokingly, I mean, it is what it is. Al Heyman. Now, Jesus Christ is number 1. That goes without saying. You're right. Jesus is number 1, but boxing specific, we're gonna go with Al. You know, because I figure if the fighters are that thankful for Al, maybe I should be thankful for Al. And if we're getting you know, Andrade is Demetrius Andrade. I listen. I used to love me some Eddie Hearn like 5 years ago, but you know, Eddie Hearn had Demetrius Andrade for a number of years and never tried to make the Canelo Alvarez fight. And when I asked him about Andrade fighting Canelo years ago, you know, back in 2021, I could tell he didn't want to make the fight. So, you know, Andrade didn't get the big fight with Hearn. He didn't get the big fight with Artie Palullo and Banner Promotions. He didn't get the big fight with Jay-Z and Rock Nation. He got the big fight with Al Heyman. So that's a feather in his cap to me. That's my opinion. I appreciate you, my brother. You already know the love, bro. Keep doing your thing. I'm always here for you. Thank you, champ. Thank you. Yes. The world in general is thankful for Big Al. Listen, I want to meet Al Heyman one day. The funny thing is, you know, in the whole history of my channel, I've gotten 2 copyright strikes. Both copyright strikes I got were like years ago, like in 2017 and 2016, and I'll never forget because I didn't know there were some things about YouTube I didn't know back then. Like there was one time when I literally pointed my camera at the TV and I filmed Keith Thurman's whole post-fight interview against Robert Guerrero, and I uploaded it, and I didn't know that you couldn't do that. So then this big red box, one day I came on YouTube, this big red box popped up, and it said, "You got a copyright strike from," and in big capital letters it said Heyman Boxing. So, you know, I got 2. I once had 2 copyright strikes from Al Heyman. And it is what it is. But shout out to him. You know, he love him or hate him. You can't doubt his influence in boxing. And yes, Daniel, Pro Box, let's go. Shout out to the fine folks at Pro Box TV. You guys made the list. You guys made the list of the top 15 things I'm most thankful for in the sport of boxing. So That's what it is. And yeah, shout out to everybody who came here. I'll take some questions for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then I'm gonna get off here because I want to go eat and rest and get ready for my live tomorrow, because tomorrow night I'm gonna be live and I'm gonna break down the entire card for you guys. The Andrade fight, the Ergashev Matias fight, all the fights, give you the prediction, all that good stuff. So that'll be tomorrow night, and the Saturday night will be the official live fight reaction. So yeah. MBD says, Hearn offered $7 million to Jamal Charlo to fight Andrade on the DAZN. When has Charlo ever made that much in a fight? No, you're right. I mean, look, I'm not saying Eddie didn't try. I know Eddie did try, and thank you for refreshing my memory with that, because I know Andrade also did petition to try to get that fight as well. But he had Canelo. He had Canelo and Andrade on the same damn platform for years, and I just remember, like, I can't get it out of my head when I was in that man's presence in 2021 at the MGM Grand Garden Arena for the Devin Haney versus Jojo Diaz post-fight press conference. When I asked him the question, I said, "Hey Eddie, you mentioned getting creative for Demetrius Andrade for matchups. Would you consider, maybe making Andrade at Canelo versus Canelo at 168? At the time, Andrade was still a 160-pound fighter, and Hearn just completely skated around the question and started talking about Makabu and shit that had nothing to do with Andrade. So I think deep down, Eddie may have wanted to make the Andrade fight for a point, Andrade a big fight at one point. But once he got Canelo, once that, wire transfer or ACH direct deposit hit to his bank account of choice, he didn't have any interest of doing what was best for Andrade once he got that Canelo money. That's just my opinion. But yeah, he tried. How do you think Andrade should fight Davis? Should he start fast or no? I mean, I have my opinions on that, Shakur. I'll talk to you about that off the live, but that's more for tomorrow's live. Tomorrow's live is more for that. This is the chill live. This is just the Thanksgiving live. Tomorrow when I break down that fight, I'll have a very deep explanation on what I think Andrade should do, what I think Benavidez should do. But I think either way he starts, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be a tough fight for him. We know Benavidez brings a lot to the table. And it's crazy because when I talked to last year, when I talked to Diego Pacheco and Benavidez Sr., the one recurring theme that I kept hearing from people in his camp, and I've heard from a couple of people in boxing, is that Benavidez has this boxing IQ, and he has some things in his skill set that he's never shown under the lights as far as his boxing ability, his slickness. So listen, I hope Andrade could bring some of those things out of Benavidez, because I want to see the complete Benavidez that everybody keeps talking about, So we'll see how it goes. But listen, guys, let me see. Any other questions? Why isn't anybody bringing up the fact that Benavidez hasn't fought a southpaw since 2016? The reason that's probably not happening, MEZBX, is because most people that like Benavidez now or have started paying attention to David Benavidez have become fans in the last 2 or 3 years. Benavidez has become somebody that a lot of boxing fans have latched onto because he's been marketed very well. He's been pegged as the guy to beat Canelo. He's always saying things in the media to attach his name to Canelo. So a lot of people just don't have the perspective to talk about that fight with Dennis Duggan. But I didn't even bring it up, so I guess fault's on me as well. It's a great point. I don't know. I would just say, if you're talking about boxing fans, the reason is probably because they just found out who Benavidez was in the last 2 to 3 years. So it is what it is. I'm really intrigued to see what's going to happen to Benavidez if he gets hit with something big tomorrow. Or Saturday, I should say, because he has this whole Mexican monster persona, and I think maybe he's going to he's believing his hype a little too much going into the fight. Maybe his ego might be his biggest downfall. I feel, but we'll see how it goes. Crypto Boy says Subriel Matias is going to steal the show. That's a big possibility. Subriel Matias got a tough fight on his hands against Shojahan Ergashev. It's going to be one of the most violent fights in boxing, and it's going to be a fight where, I'm gonna pick Matias to win only because Ergashev is talking all this bullshit about how he's thinking about retiring no matter what happens with this fight. And once a fighter starts thinking like that, they normally get their ass beat. So that's probably gonna be it's probably gonna be his detriment in the fight. But on that note, guys, listen, you guys enjoy your Thanksgiving. Just wanted to come say hi to you guys, say what's up. Give you guys some things I'm thankful for in boxing, and see you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. It'll be a really fun live tomorrow as we break down this fight, the whole card. Crypto Boy has Ergashev as a hype job. If Ergashev beats the shit out of Matias, please keep that same energy because that's a possibility as well. But he's not a hype job. He's a fantastic fighter who a lot of names at 140 didn't want to fight. Richardson Hitchens and Liam Paro, who are both ranked, both had a chance to fight him this year and both turned him down. So, learn your facts before you talk about him. This guy's it might be the hardest fight for Matias so far in his career. Punches hard with both hands. Have some respect. I'm getting tired of these I like Subriel Matias, but I'm getting tired of the Subriel Matias fans being disrespectful to guys like Ergashev who could really fight. So we'll see how it goes. But listen, you guys take care. God bless. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow and I'll see you Saturday. Check out all the content, all the shorts. There's no shorter things coming out on the channel. And yeah, like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just giving ding. So until next time, take care, guys.